Hi everybody, it's Claire back with another art journal video, and in this one I'm sharing some more ideas with my new release from Funky Fossil. So this piece of paper here is a piece of collage paper from the Heartfelt Journal Collage Pack. And I'm just going to be using a piece of this on my page. You can see I've sort of torn a diagonal piece off. So I'm going to have half the page black and white and then half in bright colours. So I'm just doing these dashes of colour using this paintbrush from Dina Wakley. So I'm going to be using quite bright rainbow colours on this bottom half of the page, diagonally across. So I've used ruby and tangelo, and then I'm going to be using lemon, lime, turquoise, and then I'll have to wait and see what comes. I can't remember. Sometimes I mix it up a bit with the colours at the other end of the rainbow. So you can see some of it's going to be black and white, and then the other half in contrast is going to be quite bright. So one thing to remember when you're doing this kind of technique, if you don't want the colours to turn muddy, so once I start using green, obviously if I put the green near the tangelo or red, it will make a sort of browny colour. If that's not what you're after, then just make sure that you dry your layers really well in between before you start bringing in colours from the other end of the colour wheel. Yeah, so this will work fine as long as you do that. So this is turquoise. And of course, because I'm working on craft, the colours do react differently with the craft background as well. But as you know, craft is one of my favourite journals to work in. And partly it's the size of it, but also the surface is just so nice to work on. It's so smooth, and it just takes the paint really nicely, and it's great for cutouts too. So that one that I've just used was Orchid. It's a lovely purpley, it's got like a bit of a purpley tinge to it. And then that was Magenta, and then this is Blackberry. So you can see I'm just going in and just layering these colours next to each other in kind of like little dashes really, little blocks of colour, and just building up that kind of colourful background. So my idea with this page was to kind of really let the products sing, and so that's why I've got that black and white paper at the top. And then I decided this bottom part was going to be lots of mark making using a lot of my products. So this is the striped circle mask, which is in my new release that's just come on sale today. And here I'm going in with the Wonky Heart stencil, and I'm using some turquoise paint. So I'm only using colours that I have used so far on the background, although that is a bit of a fib because I think the striped circle mask, I think I might have used carnation through there. This is the Dots and Dashes stencil, which came out in the last release. Lovely for just adding those marks into your backgrounds. And again, here I'm just going in with Orchid there, and I think I'd used a bit of yellow on the dashes. And then that's Tangerine going in through the dots. So you can see I'm just starting to layer up those marks that you can see and the patterns. This is the Wavy Line stencil, so this was in my previous release. I'm just making the marks and lines. So these lines, I'm doing them in different directions, vertically and horizontally, just to kind of mix it up. So these are available on my website at artjournallove.com, and I do post internationally as well. If I have sold out on my website of one or two things, but if you have no joy on my website, then you can try funkyfossil.co.uk if you're in the UK. If you're in the US, as far as I know, Frantic Stamper are going to have them in. I'm not sure whether they've arrived yet or not. And if you're in Australia, I know for a fact that Natalie May Scrapbooking has them in stock right now in her shop. So it's so exciting. So there I've just used some different pieces of white, no, let me try that again, cardboard tube with white paint just to print some circles onto that background. And then I'm just going in, adding some splatters. And then I'm adding some glue stick to this piece of collage paper that I'm going to add in. I think this piece is one of my favourites from the new pack, with these fabulous black circles on. As you know, I love circles. Such I don't know, I just love the way they look when they're on a journal page, the way they work together and everything's just brilliant. So that's, I think, my favourite is quite striking, the black and white. So this collage paper, it isn't really thick and chunky, it lays into your journal really nicely, and it's not bulky at all. So here I'm just cutting out some more circles from the pieces scraps that I've got left over, and I'm just going to bring that black and white collage paper out into my my sort of triangle of page where it's really colourful, just so that kind of works its way across the page. So I'm just trimming those down a little bit more, and then I'm going to stick them in place with the glue stick. Just deciding where to put them. There. Just spreading them out a bit. Okay. So then I am using some of the stamps from the Journal Marks stamp set that was released last time. I know I haven't got any of these on my website at the moment. I am hoping to get some more. But just using these with some archival links to get some more patterns and marks onto my background. So I'm using those ones that are like add signs, and then these are arrows, which I'm using with a blue archival ink. I'm just going to be stamping those onto my page. So I'm just layering up the marks and the patterns that are on my journal page, and you can see that I'm pointing those arrows in different directions as well, just so that it gives that kind of feeling of chaotic marks all over the place. Nothing is all pointing in the same direction, and it just creates that added interest. So here I'm using another stamp from the Journal Marks set. I'm starting to like how this is coming together. So you see how well these two releases work together, and you can kind of use the stamps from both releases, especially on a page like this where you've got lots of marks and patterns. They do work really well for that. And then this, I think, is my most favourite stamp. I am literally using it all the time. It is just permanently on an acrylic block on my desk. This is the Dots stamp from the Journal Marks set. It's fabulous for adding that detail onto your pages. And there I was just using a bit of black archival ink, so just bringing in some more contrast onto that page. So now I'm just choosing 3 quotes from the It's OK stamp set, which came out this time. So when these stamps are brand new, they don't always take the ink brilliantly the first time you ink them up, so just keep persevering. The more ink you get on them, the better they stamp, and they are brilliant stamps once you get them going. So I'm just stamping these onto printer paper using some archival ink, and I've got the stamp on an acrylic block, as you can see. Then once I've stamped them and they're dry, I then cut them up, and then I'm going to be positioning them on my page and sticking them down with a glue stick. Okay, so there we go, they're getting stuck in place. So I decided I didn't want this page to have a focal point of a face or anything like that. I just wanted it to be patterns, colour, and then some words. So just to kind of showcase how the two releases work well together. creating this really fun, colourful page with so many marks on it. Lots and lots of fun to create. So I hope you've found some inspiration from this video. Thanks for watching, and I do hope to see you again soon.